Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV, Baba Magede Imo TV. I am yours faithfully, Mobiri Rebina Lawal. First are the major headlines for the national news. The sad end for Tinubu and Ogbeni Aregbesola. Tension in Osun as Oyetola, Aregbesola's man, battled for APC governor ticket. Senate passes bill to empower mentally challenged persons. Court remands Ekiti prophet over teenager's death. Boko Haram, parents beg Buhari for Leah Sharibu's release after 4 years. Tragedy, jealous housewife stabs rival to death in Ondo. Now the news in detail. The die is cast today as the once unthinkable fight between Ogbeni Aregbesola and Asiwaju Bola Tinubu reaches the climax as the Osun State chapter of the All Progressive Congress APC holds its governorship primary. Aregbesola is backing Moshood Adeoti, while Tinubu is backing the incumbent governor Boyega Oyetola. Aregbesola, who had been accused of projecting Tinubu as next to God in the past, earlier this week came full cycle to pour out his frustration on his one-time mentor and political leader. The crux of the dispute between the two men is the re-election of Governor Boyega Oyetola, a man variously described as Tinubu's brother, nephew, cousin, or better still, his blood relative. And that is where it becomes embarrassing for the national leader of the APC, Asiwaju Tinubu. He had all the while claimed Lagos as his ancestry. So how does he come out openly in the unfolding melee in the battle for the political control of the perceived land of his ancestry? How does he claim to be the offshoot of a popular Lagos matriarch, Mogaji Tinubu, and at the same time son of another woman who lives somewhere in Osun? The unfolding problem between Aregbesola and Tinubu started a few years ago, specifically at the time that Aregbesola began his own transition from office after nearly 8 years in office. It has now emerged that Aregbesola did not want Oyetola as a successor, having preferred his SSG, Moshood Adeoti. However, he could do nothing about it. The Oyetola camp believes that Aregbesola's assistance nearly cost the party the election in 2018. In fact, it is claimed that Aregbesola knocked Adeoti to the Action Democratic Party, ADP, where he contested the 2018 election against Oyetola after he lost in the APC primaries of that year. Sharibu, who had been a ferocious foe of the Tinubu tendency, surprisingly came under the shelter of the Tinubu machine and with it acquired official political status in the state. Given that the then national chairman of the APC, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, led the deal with Sharibu, it was not surprising that his sins were forgiven and the prosecutions in the hands of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, de-escalated. Still on Osun State's governorship election, an uneasy calm has settled over Osun State as the All Progressive Congress APC holds its governorship primary on Saturday today. The tension is a result of a fierce battle for the sole ticket of the party between the governor of Osun State, Boyega Oyetola, and a former secretary to the state government, Moshood Adeoti. Adeoti, a former state chairman of the party, is the anointed candidate of the Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Aregbesola. Ironically, Oyetola was the chief of staff to Aregbesola when the later served as governor of the state for 8 years. However, the relationship between the governor and the minister has deteriorated to the extent that they now belong to different camps of the party in the states. Aregbesola has vowed that the incumbent will not be allowed to serve another term. Also in the race is the former deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, Lasun Yusuf. On Friday, a convoy of about 30 trucks of combined security team, comprising soldiers, police, men of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Federal Road Safety Corps, and operatives of the Department of State Services, moved around major areas in the Osogbo, the state capital, in a show of force. Tension has been on the rise since the beginning of the week when Aregbesola, at the APC stakeholders meeting held at Ijebu-Jesha, declared Adeoti as his aspirant for the governorship position and asked members of the party to support him. Also, on the same day, the convoy of the minister was involved in a shooting while passing through Old Garage end of Sharibu. Another story is coming from the federal house. The Senate has passed a bill seeking fundamental human rights to people or individuals with mental disorder. Passage of the bill to empower mentally retarded people in the country was equal to the consideration of the Senate Committee on Health. The chairman, Senate Committee on Health, Senator Ibrahim Oloriegbe, disclosed these on Thursday while speaking at the official commission of capital projects in Neuro Psychiatric Hospital, Aro, Abeokuta. Oloriegbe stated that the mental health bill would invalidate the Lunacy Act 1918, which according to him is outdated. He said the mental health bill is awaiting the approval of President Muhammadu Buhari before it would sign into law, claiming both the Senate and the House of Representatives have passed the bill. In addition to this, the bill is awaiting the President's approval because both the Senate and the House of Representatives have passed the bill. The Chairman Senate Committee on Health also noted that the federal government is committed to improve infrastructure in hospitals. He claimed that 61% of hospitals had benefited construction of infrastructure through the allocation in the 2020-2021 budget. Oloriegbe, however, promised that the federal government will construct oxygen plant in the neuropsychiatric hospital. Moving forward to Ekiti State, an Ekiti State Chief Magistrate Court at Ekiti District has ordered that a man, Adedayo Oluwase Yidara, be remanded in the custodial center for the alleged murder of 17-year-old Emmanuel Adeyemo. The defendant, said to be a prophet, was alleged to have given the deceased concoction to drink to cure bedwetting, but the deceased complained of stomach ache after drinking it and died in the process. The charge sheet reads, the defendant was on February 12th, 2022 in Inyekiti, reasonably suspected to have committed offense of murder on a 17-year-old Emmanuel Adeyemo, contrary to and punishable under Section 319 of the Criminal Code Cap 16, Laws of Ekiti State 2012. In a statement to the police, a relative of the victim, Bisola, said the disease was bedwetting and taken to the prophet for prayer. She said the prophet told her to bring Adeyemo, whom he claimed was possessed, alongside different types of fruit for appeasement or to the gods. She said the prophet prepared the sacrifice and concoction and gave it to him, Adeyemo, to drink. Thereafter, the disease started complaining of stomach ache and later died. The police prosecutor, Sergeant Sadiq Adeni, made an ex parte application to remand the defendant in custody, saying granting the order will allow the police complete their investigation and forward the duplicate case file to the Directorate of Public Prosecution for legal advice. We go straight to an impending story. Exactly 4 years, 1,377 days after being held captive in Boko Haram captivity, parents of Leah Sharibu on Saturday continued their demand on the federal government to fulfill its promise and secure our freedom from the insurgents, while demanding the safe release of their daughter, Nathan and Rebecca Sharibu, said they do not want to believe that the recent promises by the regime of the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, are as empty as those that have been made before. Leah Sharibu was one of the 110 female students of a government girls' science and technical college, Dapchi, Yobe State, who were abducted on February 19, 2018 by Boko Haram terrorists. While others were released by the terrorists following negotiations, Leah, then 14, is still being held captive because she refused to renounce her Christian faith. The child's parents made their submissions in a statement titled An Appeal, signed by their spokesperson and president of Leah Foundation, Dr. Gloria Poldu. She said, Nathan and Rebecca Sharibu hereby call upon the leaders of Nigeria to expedite the safe release of our daughter, Leah Sharibu, who has been held hostage against our will in the past 4 years. Specifically, we address our most urgent appeals to General Farouk Yahya, Chief of Army Staff, who only recently went on public record showing that the nation that Leah would soon be rescued. Nearly 1 month has now passed since General Yahya's statement and nothing has changed. From that story, we go to the last story, which is from Ondo State. A 25-year-old junior wife, Rebecca Nicodemus, has reportedly stabbed her rival Precious to death over disagreement on sex torn with their husband at Ode-Irele in Ondo State. The two women reportedly live in a room and parlor apartment with their husband. Police prosecutor Obadasa Ajiboye informed the Chief Magistrate Court in Akure that the defendant killed the deceased by stabbing her with a knife at her left backside, which resulted in her death. Ajiboye said that she committed the offense at about 5 a.m. at Idogon Camp via Ode-Irele in Ondo State. According to the prosecution, trouble started when the accused person, who was the younger wife, felt their husband had been depriving her of sex while expending all his energy and attention on the senior wife. The accused person reportedly confronted the deceased after a round of sex with her husband when it was her turn to sleep with him. She is reportedly stabbed her to death in a fit of rage. Following her arraignment, she had been remanded by an Akura magistrate court over the alleged murder of a rival. The defendant, who told the court that she is a farmer, said that she came to Ondo State in January 2022 from Yoro local government area in Taraba State to join her husband. Narrating what led to the ugly incident, the accused person in the police false information report said, "I am married to Paul Nicodemus. I came to Ondo State in January 2022 and we were living in the same house. I'm a farmer and we have been relating together in harmony alongside the deceased." That was the national news from BGI TV. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines once again. The sad end for Tinubu and Ogbeni Aregbesola. Tension in Osun as Oyetola, Aregbesola's men, battle for APC governorship tickets. We also brought to you Senate passes bill to empower mentally challenged persons. Court remands Ekiti prophet over teenager's death. We also brought to you concerning Boko Haram. Parents beg Buhari for Leah Sharibu's release after 4 years. And finally, tragedy. Jealous housewife stabs rival to death in Ondo. Thank you for watching. For more updates on YouTube, our YouTube channel is Baba Gbagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell to update you for our broadcast. On Facebook, Gbagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Gbagede Imo _22. For advertisement of your goods and services, coverage of event and function, the phone number streaming on your screen is the direct line to dial. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawa.
Oh, na na na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just into BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.